Cool. 1 second. Let me switch over cameras so everyone can see us. Perfect. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world or whatever time zone you're in. My name is Emmanuel Remu. I'm the head of marketing at Kynite, and I'm ecstatic to welcome you all to our very first community AMA, where we're going to share some updates, answer your burning questions, and a few surprises and announcements coming our way as well. I'll be remiss of me not to mention the man to my next right next to me is the one and only Shane Benjamin, the man behind the vision, the man behind the project. So, Shane, if you so kindly could introduce yourself to everyone who is listening in right now.
Definitely. Thank you, Emmanuel, for that amazing introduction. So, my name is Shane. I'm the founder of Kyanite, and today we're just going to be going. Actually, first off, thank you guys for joining us. Today we're going to be going up a bit about what we have planned for the project and for the community as a whole, and just some updates, some vision, and just to be able to get everybody on the same page with us. We chose this format as a video so everyone will be able to get to know us a bit better, to see us, hear us talk, and just try and connect with the community a bit more. So once the chat is open, just go ahead and drop some questions, like say what you think. We're just open to the community at this point. So thanks again for joining and get ready to get updated.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you so kindly for those kind words, Shane. I'm going to kick that off right now. So let me switch over to our presentation. There we go. So as Shane quite eloquently put, so we're basically the kind of team. We're going to take you through some amazing introductions, announcements, and a few more goodies as well. So Shane, would you be able to so kindly share a company update with everyone who's tuned in today?
Definitely. So we're going to start with the team. So we've been expanding the team recently, with Emmanuel being one of the first hires in the team. He's been doing a great job, to be honest. If you look at all the new stuff that we have putting together, Emmanuel is handling this. For example, this community AMA is all him. And we've also brought on our UX and content developer whose name is Siamak, and he has just been great. You're going to see once we put out our new website and all the new developments, you'll see how great the things that he's working on are actually on. So we actually have a few other open positions. So if anyone in the community is interested, you can go ahead and head over to our LinkedIn and apply to those. Some of the open positions we have at the moment are full stack developer, solidity developer, a head of engineering. That is actually a bit open at this point. So anyone with an engineering background, go ahead and apply to that. We'll see how we can fit you in. Two community managers, preferably in two different time zones to be able to balance out um, handling the community across the world naturally. And we're going to be bringing on a social media manager who will be able to stay in contact and to be able to get that feedback from the whole community and put out that information that you all need more efficiently.
Perfect.
So, what we're here to talk about is Porta, Porta Network. I'm sure you guys have not seen this logo, but you have seen that color that we posted on Twitter not too long ago. So what this actually means is Port is a product that we're going to be working on, actually that we've already started working on and that we're building out to add value to the community. But before we jump into that, let's just explain what Porta is, what that means, and what that's going to mean for the community. So Porta means gateway in Latin. And our mission is to make blockchain products accessible to everyone. Why we're doing this is because we can see that there's actually a bit more to blockchain than what we were originally targeting. So our original target was to create a product that would be accessible to the new wave of investors. But what we noticed is that instead of only giving to a specific group of investors, we can definitely add more value if we were to create a network and make that accessible to everyone. We can just go over to the next slide so we can just try and cover some of those points. Yes. So if you look at it right now, Web3 is not the most accessible platform just as yet. Similar to the way Web2 was in the early 90s, late 2000s. If you wanted to get onto the internet in that period, it would be pretty complicated because the friction of just accessing Web2 was enormous. There was no easy way to do that. And many companies came in and they built that out and they built layers and layers on top of that, which eventually got us to the Web2 that we know now. I would say right now in 2020, 2021, we're at that place with Web3. We haven't yet built the products and the platforms that will facilitate the access and the development on Web3. There's still a lot of friction points that is stopping the decentralized economy from growing. And that's what we want to fix with Porta and then make that accessible to the community. So we want to build products and platforms that'll essentially make accessing Web3 as easy as possible, as seamless as possible, and also as beautiful and elegant as possible. So that's what we're going to be working on, and that's what we're just here sharing with you all today. We're also planning, so it's going to stretch. So I just want to go touch a bit more. So it's going to stretch more than just into DeFi. It's going to head all the way into DeFi, NFTs, and a whole bunch of other spaces that we believe will be useful and valuable for the whole blockchain community. And these things are not so social is also something that's very interesting that we'll be able to move centralized social platforms over to a decentralized economy and keep our community safe and secure and also be able to profit from whatever's happening with the data, for example. We believe that's one of the key places. And we also believe that there's a creator economy that's being held back because of how hard it is to get into Web3. But once we build that platform, then it'll make it substantially easier for those people to transition and to be able to build out like amazing products and platforms. And that's what we want to do at Porta. We want to create an amazing platform for you all to build on. So I just want to cover a few questions before that you will definitely have before we move on to our roadmap and our other updates. So why the change? So as I said earlier, the reason we decided to transition over to a network as opposed to just a single product is because we believe having a platform would definitely add more value than simply just having one product. Because the next wave of investors that will be coming in would definitely be covering more than just DeFi. We want it to be the next place where the blockchain happens, where the Web3 is actually the key point and we'll be able to migrate away from Web2. So that's why we made that change. What will our blockchain be built on? So we're going to be using Substrate. Thanks to Polkadot and Substrate, we have the ability to build amazing and powerful blockchains within a fraction of the original time that it would take to build out one ourselves or from scratch, for to say better. And we'll be able to put that out and be able to add value to you at a much quicker and a much more optimal pace than if we were to build it out ourselves. The consensus algorithm we're going to use is nominated proof of stake. Again, putting the power back into the hands of the community. You'll be able to vote on who will be validating blocks and who will be able to execute these transactions and who will be able to approve the transactions that have been executed. And also another good reason for using nominated proof of stake is because it's more cost efficient, energy efficient, as opposed to proof of work or something or some other algorithm along those lines. What will happen to the Cayenne token? So nothing's going to happen to it just yet. We're going to continue using Cayenne as our main token for now up until the blockchain is ready to go into production. And then once the blockchain is ready, we're going to convert all of the Cayenne tokens over to Porta tokens, well, Porta coins. Token distribution. I know there's a lot of people in the chat that are pretty worried about the fact that there's a lot of tokens. So that's a team in a single wallet. That's a team wallet. We will be distributing those tokens into time lock contracts soon to avoid any issues and to alleviate any worry around that. So don't worry about that. That's coming soon. And products what we plan to build on Porta. So we have a lot of products that we want to build internally. So we're going to build out a platform first off that's going to facilitate the development of blockchain products for other companies and other projects to build on. So they don't have to code at the lowest level. They would simply build on top of a platform that we will create for them. And then we plan to create a lot of partnerships with already existing products as well that will facilitate the transition over from Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain or something over to our platform. And when we have DeFi, of course, we have DeFi. DeFi is what brought us together, and DeFi will always be in the platform. So don't worry about that. Just stay tuned for that. It will be there. And now for the roadmap. I'm going to pass this over to Emmanuel so he can cover the roadmap and our direction for the next couple of months and years. And we're just gonna give a vibe on what value we're gonna be putting forth in the next couple of months.
Cool. Perfect. One second. Hello there, hey everyone. Nice to see everyone back again. And just yeah, just thank you, Shane, for taking everyone through the vision for Porta and what we got, what we have in store. And I'm going to take you guys through the roadmap and what we got coming over the next couple of months. So yeah, so to round off Q2, so as Shane quite nicely said earlier on, like we've hired a new team members, so front-end web developer, we've got designer, we've got quite a few different people joining the team, and obviously we've got an exchange list in which we announced everyone today, which I'll take you through in more detail over the next couple of slides. So rounding off Q2 strong and heading into Q3. And for Q3, the main focus from us from a product perspective is really to launch our blockchain testnet. The team is heavily putting their heads down, really making sure they're developing towards that. So that's why we're hiring extensively to help us accelerate towards towards Q3 for our testnet launch. As well as revamping staking. I know from feedback from the community, so we have been listening. Really want to make staking as seamless as easy as possible. So that's why we're exploring other options to really make it literally a simple process for all of you within the community to stake. And when it comes to us, and obviously people outside the community who want to be part of the project and support the project in long term, be able to stake in a seamless and easy manner. As well as expanding the team, really solidifying those key hires and key roles to help expand the community and help drive more awareness for the project. And in Q4 2021, running off the year really, really strong, launching our blockchain mainnet for Q4, as well as a key exchange listing, which everyone will be excited about in due course, as well as really expanding and giving all of you in the community the ability, the tool sets, the skills to really be empowered to really push the community forward with our ambassador program, as well as establishing quite a few ecosystem partnerships as well. And looking ahead for Q for 2022, the main couple of focuses for 2022 is really launching Porta Pass, making it accessible for anyone who wants to access blockchain and Web 3.0 products that are going to be built on our blockchain. So we want to make sure we democratize that and give everyone access, ultimately expanding the scope of the project and expanding the reach of the project as well. And on top of that, more exchange listings. So in a few seconds, I'll take you guys through what that looks like. But the main thing from us is really expanding the many places and ability areas where people can actually access and buy our token as well. On top of that, launching a developer program to incentivize different developers to build on our blockchain. And looking to 2023, we're going to kick off a massive grant fund to incentivize developers, creators, builders of the future to really build the amazing, seamless, well-designed Web 3.0 projects for all of you within the community and beyond. And again, expanding our developer program globally, launching a number of products on top of Porter as well. So that's what we're looking forward to 2023. But we want to make sure we establish that foundation in 2021 and to help us in the many years to come. And now, you may all have seen our announcement today of Bbox. Some of you might be asking why Bbox. I think it's very important that we build up towards these bigger exchanges. And I think in our current exchange and our current process, I think Bbox is the right next step up. It's got really good trading volume, which is obviously exciting for all of you holders of the token. But more importantly, it's going to expose us to even global list of people looking to invest in a project as well. So the date for the listing is 23rd of June. We're going to be aiming for 11 a.m. UTC. As mentioned in the Medium post, we've got quite a few market activities. So there's going to be another AMA with Shane, with someone from the Bbox team, as well as an airdrop, Twitter airdrop event. On top of that, a trading competition that's going to be facilitated by the Bbox team. So we're extremely excited about that, what's coming next. But we're not done yet. We are not done yet. Another thing we need to pay attention of, and I'll feel ashamed if I don't mention it on today's conversation with you all, is our listings. So essentially, we are planning a number of listings over the next couple of months. We are targeting a top eight crypto exchange for Q3. So we've already begun the groundworks with that particular exchange to really basically get the token on there as well. And to the tail end of our Q3 as well, we're targeting a top three DEX exchange, which a lot of you will be quite familiar with as well. And then to round off the year, we're targeting a top three crypto exchange for Q4 2021 to really end the year strong, coupled with our mainnet launch in Q4 as well. So we're basically using both listings and partnerships as well as product developments and product advancement in our roadmap to really accelerate and get the project out there to more people. And then kicking off 2022 with a bang with a Q1 exchange at a top five exchange, and then obviously running off Q2 for a top two crypto exchange as well. Obviously, I can't tell you the listings, the particular platforms as of yet. Sorry, exchanges we're listing as of yet, but I think you could probably guess with a bit of deduction what those will look like over the next couple of months. So really aggressive plan because we have right ambitions for the project. And not just expanding the projects and getting us some more exchanges, it's expanding the community, right? And then feedback from you all has been we want another outlet to communicate. So literally we've literally just made public our Porta official Reddit, so you could go on there, ask any questions with the team, and basically that's another forum, another way for all of you to communicate to each other, and obviously invite more people to the community as well. And now we're going to be opening up to a couple of questions from the community. So yeah, literally, do not hesitate. I've already see some questions coming through when it comes to when I'm looking at the chat at this moment in time. So I'll grab a couple of them. So let me switch over to Shane and myself, so you can see us both. So I'm gonna go with I'm having a look at the questions. Uh, 1 second. I think first question is from Shorts Collector. Beautiful name.
So you're
So
collecting shots.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, interesting hobby there. Yeah, here we go. So Shorts Collector is saying, how many DeFi projects run into liquidity problems? What liquidity model will DeFi yield use to increase the token value?
Hmm. That's a really good question. So when we think about liquidity, we think that the most important thing is to actually add value to the community. This is the way any company would work. We see crypto projects. We I think the slight issue that we have right now is that we see crypto projects as these self-constrained things like that function in the world. And we need to see them more as what they actually are and what they will be in the future, and they'll be businesses. So just like any other business, is either you add value or you don't add value. And if you add value, you'll be able to get more people to invest into your product and to invest into your token by adding use case and value to the community as a whole. So the way we plan to increase the token's value is by actually adding value to the community and to the holder and to the user of our platforms. And that's how we believe we're going to get past that liquidity problem.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a good response to that. So, yep, I'm gonna switch over to someone else. Errol's got two questions. I think these are pretty good questions. How many dollars? So it is here we go. So how many dollars can we be in 1 year? I'm guessing. So just so I'm paraphrasing. So correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Are you saying what the price will look like in a year's time? I'm guessing. So
Yeah, I think we're gonna assume based on that question that's what he actually meant. Like, what is the price gonna look
yeah.
like? In all honesty, I don't know. I have no idea what the price is gonna look like. We hope that we would add enough value so that the price would increase, but we don't control the price, so we can't really tell you what it'll look like in a year.
Yeah.
But we will add value to the community. We can definitely say that.
Absolutely, and that's why we wanted to go with this shift, right? I think it's incredibly important that you know we're we are a product driven company. We want to make sure the product is outstanding, seamless as well. And when you look at the current adoption of let alone crypto, let alone even just DeFi alone, it's like barely a percentage basis on a global scale. And we want to make sure we include everyone to basically give them access to the amazing products. And by having that and focusing on that intrinsic value, that's going to really obviously end up in value in terms of the price as well. So by us focusing on value, the increase will potentially, well, more than likely will come. I mean, the price as well. We can't project what that's
Exactly.
going to
It
look
will
like. It
reflect. It will
exactly,
definitely
exactly,
reflect. Like if we
exactly,
add value to you, it'll definitely be reflected in the price. I believe that.
exactly. So cool. That's Errol's one question. I'm gonna give Errol had a really good question actually. I like this. Uh, I would like it to be listed on Binance. Is that possible? Well,
Um,
do you want to take that? Do you want to take that? Do you want to take that shot?
yeah, I'll go ahead and that one. So I believe
Okay.
all things are possible. Some things probably less possible than others, but I believe this is something that we can definitely do. With great people in the community, with strong community and strong branding, we believe that we can add enough value that we can get listed on Binance. But that would also need your help for that. So Errol, like definitely like go out, show people, tell people what we're doing, and I'm sure we'll be able to get listed on Binance.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I can't comment on that particular exchange. I'll leave it
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
Hey, it's one of the best. So we would be happy to
exactly,
get listed as well. That is definitely a goal.
exactly. So you don't know if it's already in our plans. So I'll leave it at that. Because if I say any more, Shane will kill me. So it's that.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, okay. I'll keep it stum. I'll keep it stum. Okay, cool. And then we've got tribal war stuff. Yeah, good question on here we go. So what was Porta built on? I'm curious because of gas fees being crucial for NFT and DEX platforms. Very good question from tribal war stuff.
yeah. I guess I'll definitely grab that one for you.
Hmm.
So Porta is being built on Substrate. I'm not sure how many people actually know about it, but Substrate is what is the platform that Polkadot is actually built on. And what it allows us to do is it gives us a toolkit and a platform in order to build out our own blockchain without having to build the lowest level of the blockchain. So we kind of get to build on top of a framework that already exists. And so what this allows us to do is actually control things like the gas fees. And then if we control the gas fees, then we can also control, hopefully, increase the interaction from the community as well. So yeah, NFTs, that's definitely something we're taking into consideration as we develop the platform. So we're going to work on optimizing for that.
And just to tag on to that, like from just a normal person who is enthusiastic about the space, gas fees is a massive friction point. And
Yes,
that's something that we've discussed internally of like how can we really eliminate that? And I think this new direction could obviously help towards that.
definitely.
Cool. So thank you for that question. Um, anything? So one second. Also, was there anything special? Here we go. I got a question on Beatbox from Tribal Wars. So Tribal Wars
You can go
said, yeah, I'll take this. So yeah. So was there anything special that made us choose Beatbox as our first exchange? Just for clarification, Beatbox is in our first exchange, so we're on MXC at the moment. Beatbox in our current state makes a lot of sense to go into that exchange. It would be so just to go back to someone's previous question about Binance, it would be incredibly irresponsible of us to tell you lot to tell everyone else within the community that we're going to list on Binance within 3 months. I think that will be a record, I think, if I'm correct, and probably be impossible, right? I think we have to build up to these exchanges. We've got to build up volume. We've got to build up volume in people, buying or holding and buying and holding a token. So I think it's incredibly important that we build up to that. And also, we just have a lot of intrinsic value. We want to be able to get to a point where we look at the larger exchanges that it basically we make it such a hard decision for them to say no that they say yes, and that's what we want to get
Definitely.
to. We don't want to get to a place where we approach them multiple times and they turn us away multiple times because we get disappointed because our time and energy is wasted. So we want to make sure that once we go for the larger exchanges that we're ready to go. So Bitbox is our first step in that direction, and the team is ready support. We're really happy to support us with the listing and obviously support us beyond the listing as well.
Definitely. Definitely.
Cool. Uh, and someone said, more listing guys. We need to send the price to space. As I said before, we've got quite a few listings over the next couple of quarters. Some of them you'll be very familiar with you in terms of brand names. So yes, literally watch this space. Literally, I'm going to be busy on the exchanges, so you're going to be seeing my face a lot more, which is obviously going to benefit everyone in the community. Cool, cool, cool.
DTB Vlogs has a pretty interesting question. I
Okay,
kind of
cool.
like
One second. Cool. Yeah, DTV vlogs. Okay, cool. Which one of these aspects is important for you? Increasing token price, value to value. So, oh, these are one, two, and three. Sorry. Increasing token price and value, empowering platform development, building community trust, expanding partnership globally. In what order? That is a great question.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I want to touch on. I like that because here's where we get to talk about what our actual goals are, right?
Yeah.
So, in order to be honest, token price is not our primary focus. So, our primary focus is adding value. So, we believe that once we add value, as we said earlier, that will reflect in the token price. What we really want to do is build trust in the community because at the end of the day the community is who adds value to our products and our platform, and like you are the reason we are who we are and how we are allowed to do what we do. So building your trust is definitely a primary focus for us. And then in order to add value, we need to empower developers and build out the community and then expand partnerships so we be able to add value. So just to answer your question, in what order we want to do this. So we want to build our community's trust first, then we want to empower developers, then we want to expand partnerships, and then we believe that price and value will take care of itself if we do those things properly. So yeah.
Absolutely. That honestly a great answer to a great question. So I really, really appreciate that question. For sure. Okay, we've got take a couple more, and then we'll literally round off today's session with a few giveaways to people. So this is one from Izzy. So for shareholders, it's important to add value, increase price. Any plans for buybacks? Burn. What is in a pipeline for marketing? I need to push price to get exposure and get in new holders. I guess we could split this, Shane. You could take
Yeah,
the value bit, buybacks and burn, and I'm gonna take the pipeline and pipeline exposure piece.
definitely, definitely. You want to start? Should I start? I'll start, and then you can
Okay.
just finish out, like,
Yeah.
because I think yeah, you have the marketing stuff like unlocked, so I just let you
Yeah.
handle that.
Yeah.
So in terms of value and burn and increase in price. So just to reiterate again, like I said it a few times before, price will come as we add value. So we plan to add value to the community by creating great, strong products with seamless experiences that make you want to use the blockchain and that make people that don't understand the blockchain want to come over to the blockchain and use Web3 on a day-to-day basis. So buybacks and burns, buybacks could happen if we feel like it'll actually be valuable to the community, but we don't plan to burn any tokens. That's not in the pipeline. That's not in our direct vision. We don't think it works with our overall vision to burn tokens. And yeah, but the buyback, we'll see how we can work on that. If ever there's a time where it will actually work for the community, then we'll be happy to move ahead with that. And I'll just let Emmanuel handle the marketing pipeline.
Absolutely. Yeah, so thank you, Shane, for that. Like from a marketing perspective, like so I literally just joined the company last month. The most important thing for me was engaging with the community. So I didn't want to put out a ton of content and not talk to you all and have the opportunity for you guys to ask us questions directly. It would be silly of me. As I've told Shane many a time, to probably he's sick of me saying it. We are nothing without you guys. The community has held
Yes.
us down. You supported the project to this point, and you're going to continue to support the project in the future as well. So the very first thing is really establishing that community relationship. So again, open up Reddit. We've got plans to expand out to Discord and Discourse in the future as well as trying to bring on dedicated community managers to really help flesh that relationship out even more so. So from a community perspective, we've got a lot of things in store for you guys over the next couple of months and beyond. On top of that, again, content that is in my wheelhouse. That's my expertise. So content for people who are enthusiasts, content for our traders, investors in the group, and content for the developers that we want to build relationships with as well. So we're building that up over the next couple of months. And then on top of that, because we're not done yet, we're also going to be obviously incentivizing you guys with improving staking, airdrops, as well as really incentivizing people to hold on to the token, because ultimately we're looking to add a lot of intrinsic value to not only token holders, to the community, but everyone essentially. That's who we're aiming for. And then on top of that, we've got different partnerships in the background with different ecosystem players that we've got conversations with that we'll be announcing over the next couple of months as well and beyond. And then on top of that, as quite rightly some people have suggested in the Telegram group, I'm not going to mention who we're speaking to, but basically we've got quite a few relationships with influencers within space, influencers that we respect actually because they have quite honest reviews about different projects that are coming through. So we got those in the pipeline as well, and we're pushing the button on quite a few of those over the next couple of quarters, as well as trying to get Shane out of the office to as many places as possible. Shane's gonna hate me in a couple months' time. That basically, I've basically run him ragged. He's appearing on all the podcasts you guys love and making as many appearances possible. But before we get to the exposure bit, it's very important that we have a solid foundation of community. We have a solid foundation of really educational, informative content for you all in the community. People looking to obviously get join the community, as well as developers looking to build on our blockchain, and then on top of that, really fleshing it out with different ecosystem partnerships, and then obviously extending exposure with the projects as well. I've got some crazy plans, crazy plans.
That is true. I agree. They are pretty crazy.
But
So
it's
he told me about them. I don't think you guys are ready, but hey,
yeah, ambition is not something we lack, and but obviously it's important that we execute towards that ambition by building a solid foundation with community first. That's important that we led with that, and that's what we have in that conversation with you all as well. So I think once we establish those blocks, new holders will come into play, and obviously the value we bring to the table will continue to increase as well. Cool.
definitely.
Yeah, I think so. I answered that question about new holders for Izzy. Uh, and then Errol said, Errol, your question about Kainite needs a lot more advertising. Do you have any plans to work on it? Basically, that's what I just answered right now in terms of we've got a ton of work in the background to increase exposure with the project, but we wanted to get this reband and messaging conversation with you guys and kick that off now. Now that's out of the way, we've got plenty more stuff coming through.
Yes.
So watch this space for sure. Watch this space for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So we wanted to get this done before we just started take the ball and running with it, you know. So we kind of been crawling, trying to put stuff together in the background, but now we have things in the pipeline. We have things that we're going to go ahead and just push forward heavily right now. So
Okay.
hopefully, actually not hopefully, the way Manuel is going, marketing and advertising will not be an issue. So yeah, hold
Sounds
on
good.
tight.
Yeah, I probably need to start drinking coffee again. Uh, cool. Someone actually. So we got what probably last question from Harsha actually. Uh, so a couple
Plans for the
questions
next
from
10 years.
yeah. Cool. One second. So Harsha said, if we talk about cryptocurrencies, are they Kynite regulations? Does Kynite team deal with regulations where lower regulations are used by currency system in certain countries? Yeah, it'd be good to tackle that at least. Share some insight on that particular one, if possible.
That is an interesting question. So I'm not sure how I understand the question.
Yeah,
Maybe are you talking about how the SEC or something like that would
yeah.
handle cryptocurrency in the US or what's happening in China at the moment?
Mhm.
If that's what you mean. So we're just basically saying in countries that are happy to have us there at the moment. Like we're not interested in heading into any types of legal battles. We're basically just trying to get into the right position for the community right now. In the future, we definitely want to be able to expand out to reach these communities and to reach these people in places like China and the US. But we want to do it the right way. So when the time comes, we're going to go into those places as I don't want to, as regulatorily regulate as regulated as possible into these markets and in these spaces. So yeah,
Absolutely.
we no worries about that.
Got it.
But I like it's funny how you're asking about the next 10 years. So let's just keep in mind that the blockchain space is just over I think 13 years old or 12
Yeah.
years old.
Hmm.
So 10 years from now, I have no idea where we're going to be, but we do have big plans for everyone involved and everyone that's trusting us with their time and just being holders. We have big plans, and we believe that we're going to make them and we're going to hit them as long as you guys continue to trust us and to work with us and to build with us. We can do big things in the next 10 years. But we do have ambitions for the next 10 years. This is not a short sighted project by any means. We want this to be the biggest thing that it could possibly be and see, make sure that we can flourish and reach as many people as possible. So we would hope that we could potentially be the foundation of the web 3 of what web 2 was for traditional the traditional internet. We hope that we could potentially be one of the primary drivers in web 3 for the new internet in the next 10 years.
Perfect. And again, Harsha, you mentioned buybacks. We mentioned we covered that essentially. That
Yeah,
like Shane did cover that before. But I guess we'll take one last question from you. So let me bring this up 1 second, and then we'll finish off today. So yeah, do you plan to add more use cases to Kine on top of the current ones?
definitely. Definitely. Well, since we're going to be transitioning from Kang over to Porta anyway,
Hmm.
Porta will definitely have more use cases because it's going to actually be the coin of the blockchain. So I don't know if you can get any more lower in the possible use case space than being a coin. But what we actually want to do is create our own products as well. So as we said, we want to create a platform and we want to have new developers that will integrate with that platform. So they don't necessarily, our vision is honestly so that you don't necessarily have to build the whole blockchain product yourself, is that you'll be able to use services and platform and products that are already being provided by other blockchain developers and then be able to integrate that into your DApp to just make easy DApp development. And that's kind of the vision we have for Kainite or for Porta in the next couple of months, couple of years to come. So, yeah.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Cool. Yeah, and I guess that wraps up questions. And to be honest, we'll be jumping in Telegram. So if anyone has any more questions, we're not happy to facilitate that in the Telegram group today. So we'll both be active on that today. So just switching gears so we can round off and help everyone with a giveaway. Cool. So 1 second. So now I'm going to select two community members, picked out random, so it's not just favoritism here. So I'm gonna select based on the quality of questions and interactions. I'm gonna select short seller, so I'm gonna make a note of that. So I'm gonna reach out to you.
Yeah,
So
short seller, can you actually probably drop your Telegram handle in the chat? That'll probably make it easier for us to reach out to you.
yeah, perfect. Yeah, so shorts collector, please drop in your Telegram, and then we'll get back to you in terms of your 1,000 kind tokens, as well as this has to be the best question of the conversation because it really it made both of us really think. I think
I
DTP vlogs,
agree.
yeah,
I
DT.
agree. That
I
was a
think
great question, DTV Vlogs,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
Drop your Telegram handle. We'll reach out
cool.
to you. We'll get that over to you. So thank you.
So yeah, we'll reach out to you guys and facilitate that for you. And again, this is not the only giveaway we're doing. By the way, we've got plenty more airdrops coming in the future as well, which I mentioned previously about some of the marketing stuff we got coming through in the near future. Awesome. So thank you everyone for the interaction. And then cool. So I'm gonna pass it off to Shane to run off today. So it's been a pleasure for all of you to join the conversation. Honestly, your questions have been amazing, and I really do appreciate your support. So 1 second, let me bring on Shane. Let me wrap up today. Cool. There we go.
Hey, so yeah, thank you everyone for participating. Thank you for joining this, and thank you for being a part of the community because we really couldn't be doing this without you. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to have this product being developed in the first place. So thank you for taking the time. Thank you for taking your time out to actually join us here on this live. And we look forward to hearing from you and to interact with you all in the Telegram group. And we're probably going to open a few other channels as well for you to be able to reach out to us. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you there. And thank you. Stay tuned. We have big things planned. And yeah, thanks.
Cool. Thank you, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.